When you say happiness within, where do you feel that? When do you feel that? How do you feel that? I'm happy within. That's really, we know that. But then what really does that mean to me?
Being content
and satisfied.
Satisfied.
whatever situation you're in.
Yes, whatever situation you're in. And that's a beautiful what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita as well. So no matter what outside the situation, you're still content, you're still satisfied, and that's what you're still, then you're peaceful, and peace is happiness, what we experience. So in the world outside, when we talk about happiness, even it's also bound with gunas. So the tamasic happiness, it could be when it's bound with some pleasures, which is not really healthy. So like people do enjoy and find happiness in partying and alcohol, substances and smoking, and they feel bliss. But that is tamasic, because that's depending on a substance which is ultimately pushing you down, not natural. And again, this is tamasic. So after that, the post effects are disastrous. They are hazards. They do not support your healthy living. So that is tamasic. There is rajasic. So again, people who are very passionate and very exciting, even without substances, they can be happy, but they need people, they need party, they need dance, they need music. So everything that makes them energetic and passionate, that is still rajasic character, which is not wrong, but at the same time, this is again will not sustain, because this is depending on something again which triggers the happiness, but then again subside. After that, you feel very tired, because after party, then you have hangover to whatnot for next 2 days. So these are not really considered as happiness. They can be triggered outside factors. But then there is a sattvic one, which means that what just Pragnaji said, internal, come from inside, and it doesn't depend on anything. When things are not depending on anything, they're natural, they flow. And then when they are constantly flowing, we call it Satchitanand, uninterrupted, constantly flowing, regardless of what situation. When do we experience that? What time we experience? When does that happen? Is also a question. That also gives you an idea that what could actually influence your happiness. So you can disregard those factors and you can still constantly in the peace. Today I'm going to do 2 exercises while I'm talking and doing the chit chat. One, while until I say stop or until I ask you how you feel, I would like you constantly to feel your breath, even when you're listening to me, even when you're brainstorming, you are understanding. I would like you to keep your focus on the breath constantly, uninterrupted. It's a hard work, because I'm asking you to do 2 things together. Listen to me, talk to me, share with me, but also keep your focus uninterrupted, which means constant, on the breath flow. You don't have to do in, out, breathing, constant count, nothing. Just focus and feel your flow in and out of your breath. But let's keep brainstorming. So this is happiness we're going to talk about today. And while we do that, what I just said, disregard everything which comes in your happiness. How do we do that? So this is the practices which I'm going to do today while open eyes, while talking. It's still meditative practice. And this is what for the world outside. If you remember last week, we did meditation whole week in Kickstart based on Drigdrishya Vivek. And one time I said, meditating with the open eyes in the world outside. This is one of the kind. I'm just seeing how everybody feels. So no matter what situation, no matter what surrounding, no matter where we are, our focus is still uninterrupted on things which we want to be. Right now, I'm giving you a thing, breath. But then you can also do the same, deciding your own focus area. Now, one thing to remember, that no matter how much you want to be happy within, mind will not accept that until mind actually enjoys that. If anybody says, you need to concentrate your mind, that's a myth. you cannot concentrate your mind. It is really a mess that we try to concentrate, and miserably, it's a failure attempt because you cannot concentrate mind. Mind gets concentrated on the things it likes. So if it doesn't have rasa, the bliss, the happiness, it's not finding that inside, it may stay there for a little while, but then it will push you much more harder to say, just let's go. Or it'll start wandering around, and then it's a constant struggle to bring your mind. So all of us, if you even go back in the memory lane and see when your mind get concentrated, when you enjoy things you don't enjoy, mind will never get concentrated. So don't even try to concentrate your mind. It will not get concentrated. Meditation will not happen. Concentration cannot happen. Even the focus cannot happen until your mind starts to enjoy that thing. If mind starts to enjoy, it gets the glimpse of happiness into it. Then you don't have to do anything. Mind is already drawn towards it. And this is the practice where we have to focus on that. How do we engage our mind into something finding happiness? So finding God, finding consciousness, finding myself is, again, we do use terms like these because mind needs something to focus on. But that thing is actually the happiness. If you find all that and you find happiness. So for example, if I say, Krishna is happiness. I can find happiness in Krishna because I find connection with him. He is my Aradhya. He is my Ishtadevta. So if I have that bond with him, I will be happy. But if somebody is not having the bond with Krishna, but rather have Ma Kali, let's say, or Durga, or anybody, Ishtadevta, or even the faith is different, regardless, no matter how beautiful Krishna is, or what a glorified version I give, his mind will not go into Krishna. Because he already have a blissful connection with somebody else, with some other Ishtadevta, or in his own faith. So again, no matter how beautiful the object of meditation is, the mind will only drawn upon to it when it find it blissful, happiness, and peaceful. Sometimes mind don't need peace. Mind needs just happiness. Peace is a byproduct. Happiness is the main focus. Peace is byproduct. It will happen, automatically happen.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, please.
So, when you say the mind it doesn't focus on what it doesn't like, but aren't we really focused on things that worry us, or whatever our negatives are? We are like the elephant in the room. We are always drawn to things that we should not be thinking about, and constantly thinking about the stuff. So it does concentrate on negatives as well.
Yes, more on negatives actually. Now here, what is happening in the mind? Mind is not focusing on that. But if you have a trouble, let's say in realistic life, if we have a trouble, you cannot sit quiet. Can we? No, this is a crisis. We got to manage first. There is a beautiful saying in Hindi, you might all have heard, bhukhe pet bhajan nahi hote. Nahi hote. So jab tak, until you are hungry, you cannot sing in the glory of God. Bhajan bhi nahi honge. So if there is a worry, there is something which is worrying you, something which is not really healthy for you, and which is body is not really happy with, mind will not draw into anywhere else, because first thing it will draw upon is keeping you safe, keeping you nourished, and then keeping you happy. So in the needs, the happiness comes as the end. The first is food, the shelter, the safety, isn't it? Until these things are done, these are the basic requirements. So mind will make sure that you're safe first. So if there's a fire alarm going and I say, don't worry, just breathe. But you want to check the fire alarm. Is it really a fire or is it a false alarm? Until that, your mind will not sit quiet. Because the first thing is your safety. Then comes the happiness. So worry, mind doesn't draw on its own to the worry. We do create the worries. Now, there's a natural nature of the mind is the vrittis. Chitta vritti is it's a nature that it will go in the spiral. Now, what you throw in the spiral, it will start spiraling. So if I throw the happy thing, it will start to spiral and then keep on making it bigger. If I throw a worry into it, it will keep on extending that.
Yeah.
So it is not focusing on that. Mind is not focusing on anything. It draws upon. So the focus becomes automatic when it goes towards that. What it goes toward, whatever we throw into it. It has a nature to draw upon and keep extending, keep absorbing and making it bigger and bigger. So what we pick and choose is an important object. Am I choosing worry for mind to focus on? Then it will focus on. If I say, oh, what future holds for me? What am I going to do? So then mind is suddenly shifted from everywhere else and it will start showing you what disaster you are in. Because you asked for it. See, if I put a program in my computer, GPT, now there is artificial intelligence, Google, you put a question, it will drop on all possible options and you say, I have an acne and it can be a cancer. From acne, skin condition to cancer, it will give you everything, isn't it? You didn't ask for cancer. You didn't want it to focus on cancer, but it gives you everything because you asked for it. What it can be, it said it can be anything of that. This is our mind. You ask one thing, it will give you the full picture of because you asked for it. So be very mindful what we are asking our mind to do research for us. Whatever we are throwing, it is multiplying it. It is giving you in that multiplication. So, but naturally, mind will always draw upon happiness of its own bliss because that's its nature. It doesn't like worry. So if today I say, I'm going to take a session on something called stress management and how do we relax ourselves. But the same time, another doctor we have who is going to take a session on what different kind of stress and what all it can affect your body. Which session will you pick? Mostly stress management because we don't want to hear most how badly it is affecting. We know how badly we can struggle. So what I will choose consciously, also I will choose something which relieves me. Not something which troubles me more. So naturally, we get an instinct to go towards the happiness. If I know I have a very smoothing and calming tone as well, let's say, not forget about nature, just my voice, I always talk very peacefully. But then somebody is very nice person, but then he starts with, Abhi aaya? Abhi kyun aaya? Pehle kyun nahi aaya? And then he starts with all that question and then, it looks like he's attacking you. Who will you go asking for help or talking to? Where you find peace first. Comfortable, huh? This is the natural drawn that we will draw upon towards the happiness and peace. But also it will not deny the fact that if you're not safe, if you're not nourished, if you're hungry, if you haven't done your breakfast this morning, no matter how beautifully I'm talking or how much you're enjoying this conversation, the mind will keep on going towards your appetite. The bhooke pet bhajan nahi hote. Even if you see early days, all the celebration in India, used to eat first and then used to go for the puja. And especially the kids were fed first because they are the first one who will get hungry before starting the worship. So we always ask the question, why do we eat first on festival seasons, on Diwali and Holi? And they said, so you keep quiet and sit quiet in puja. And that doesn't make any time sense, but it's true. Now I do the same because wahan bhook lagegi na, fir Bhagwan yaad nahi aayenge. So you feed yourself, you secure yourself, and then you go into the pursuit of happiness until it's you are trained enough that you even let go all that pain and pleasure of body. Until that, you make sure you do that and then go inwards towards happiness. Yes, we're good so far. So I want to know quickly how everybody's breath work was going while I was talking. How much? If you, I said you got to concentrate constantly on breath work.
Because
That's fine.
we were concentrating with what you were saying.
Saying, yeah,
This was just in background.
that's right.
I was
Background,
breathing and I
yes.
was conscious of breathing as well.
Yes. 80%, thank you.
We weren't aware of it. We were focusing on you, Nehaji.
Yes. So the mind, again, I will come back on the same what I just said. Mind draws upon where it's enjoying. Breath is anyway happening. What is new? And it's nothing finding interesting in the breath, then my talk. Because it's something new. And again, it is engaging the mind to say, yeah, makes sense. Because mind is logical and analytic as well. So here it's finding all of that, whereas the breath sounds like blend. Yeah. So even though it could focus, but it is automatically drawing upon where it's finding more pleasure or interesting, or more challenging. So I'm not only saying something very soothing and very peaceful, but I'm also challenging your own notion in between to say, no, this is not right. So then your mind is wondering, yeah, true, she said right. Is it? Haan, bhukhe pet nahi hote. You will wonder, yeah, it's right. So the logic, interest, everything, it is keeping you engaged with. So what I just said, you all can experience. But however, if you want to focus, it can do two tasks together. So in the world outside, regardless whatever you are doing, you can still do with 80% success rate, which is still very good success rate. I do 50%. But in your mind, you can still keep something interesting, blissful, and still keep going. You did two things together here, isn't it? So you were engaging and enjoying something which you wanted to listen, focus, and enjoy. But at the same time, you continue doing to a certain extent, even 50, I'm sure everybody has done 50% engagement with something which you're not interested, but because you have to do it, as I said, you could do it. This is the what we are meditating in the world outside. So the breath is our world engagement. Keep on doing it. Even if you do with 50% engagement, that's all it requires. With consciously doing 50% in the world where you are 100% engaged in your happiness, that is going to give you more than 100% outcome. You can try this. Yes.
Because
yes.
we didn't know about this, we didn't do it. But now that you have made us aware of it, I'm sure at least I will make more of an effort, because while I was breathing and listening to you, I could balance the two out. But we didn't know about this. So
yes, we are not aware of many things until somebody reminds us.
Not aware.
Even though we know this happens, but sometimes we don't know why this is. I mean, the logical sense, we don't know until somebody points out. Now, recently, I just said about food and, how the brain got access and all that. Now, again, we all eat, we all know this is happening, but until, somebody just make it simplify for us to say, why is it happening? And this is what happening. We don't really focus or understand that very much. So it is human nature. Even though if we have the knowledge, we don't know sometimes to put it into action. So now this practice, I would like you to go back every time in the world outside. Remember focusing on your engaging with your happiness constantly and engaging whatever you're doing in the world outside. Continue doing it, but without defocusing your engagement from your happiness and bliss. The breath work is natural. We all can cook, talk, meet people, go outside, do daily tasking. Even sometimes we do the family occasions also. It's a mundane activity, just like breath. In and out, we can do it without even paying attention. So why do we pay so much attention, which we are so used to of doing? We can withdraw ourselves, no? Without anybody knowing that we have withdrawn. You still continue breathing, you still continue doing in worldly affairs as it is, but this time with beautiful smile on your face without disturbing yourself because you're not there. Where are you? You are in your own engagement. This is what is a meditation in the world outside with the open eyes. What all Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita about engaging in the karma. Basically, it's not talking about give everything to me, surrender everything to me. All it means is if you constantly think about me, you will be anyway surrendering everything to me. It's a natural process will happen just like what happened here. You surrendered your thoughts and questions and challenges to listening to me because by now, each one of you have little faith on me that whatever I said must have some logical reason out of it. So you could let go your constant logics behind and say, there must be something, yeah, she means. What is all that? And then you keep on going. But then rest can still go on in the world. Now, the second part of the exercise, what do we focus in our happiness? So now, in the next go on session, as I talk and you all are engaging with me, even in the conversation, we can talk. I would like you to focus constantly what you're enjoying. I would like you to focus this time in the mind, just every next few minutes when we do this practice, I would like you to just keep on seeing your mind in between whenever there is a change to see where you find really happiness, what really you enjoyed. Because I'm constantly talking, it's like a flow. In that flow, what is that you enjoyed the most? And you'll be surprised, each one of us will have something different which we enjoyed. Yeah, again, just it's an experiment to try, and we are not doing keeping eyes open, keeping our mind open, keeping ourselves engaged into constantly something ongoing, and yet finding that how the mind is changing. So does it go down any point? Is it stay up in the happiness, or does it drawn to something else? What point did it drawn to something else? That all just to keep an eye, just simply like you kept an eye on your breath. Okay. Okay. Any questions here?
I have an answer, Doc.
Yes.
I've enjoyed listening to your voice, the flow of your voice. That's the answer to your recent question. That is what I enjoyed the most. That's constant. And of course, the message also drops in.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, thank you.
On this platform, we've been talking about happiness, and that gets me concentration.
Yes. Yes.
As you said, that a topic which is interesting to you, that helps in concentration.
That helps.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I am sure there are many philosophers and many saints who have said that. But recently I heard saying this, Osho said this, what I heard. This is useless effort to concentrate your mind. Mind will only be concentrated where it likes to, where it find happiness, where it finds rasa, interest. And the beautiful term is rasa. There is rasa in everything. Let's talk food. Why do we enjoy food? What we enjoy. I enjoy sweet. I have a sweet tooth. Some of us do enjoy something salty or, namkeen and all that. Whatever we enjoy. Why do we enjoy different things? We find rasa in different things. I find bliss and I have gulab jamun. So again, the rasa could be different for each of us, but rasa is really the pleasure, what we find pleasure in. It's a taste of life. When we're talking about rasa in food, it's a taste of food. But then in life, what it really means, the taste of life, what we enjoy in our life, what taste we like. What do I really like is people. I never knew I'm a people's person. First, when I went to States, I was very inward child. Growing up also, I was very introvert. I wasn't a people's person. I wasn't a social person at all. So then I thought, what job I'm going to do? Career is the first question everybody asks. What are you going to do? And I thought, I'm not people's person. So, I will go in the lab, hibernate there and do for the science. I enjoy science, but not in the world outside. So I'll do science in the lab where I and my rats are there or guinea pigs are there. And I did that. And then until I found, actually, I don't want to kill animals. I don't want to do experiments on them. And I started to work in mental health and in brain and in science research. And then I started to realize human connections. I rediscovered my interest and I thought, well, this is what I enjoy. Mind constantly changing. It's never one. We constantly changing. Our experience, our understanding, our behavior is constantly changing because our knowledge, our wisdom is constantly changing. When we come into contact with somebody, we always learn, good or bad, whatever we learn, it's still a learning. We learn something new, we find something new, we even explore ourselves, someone new. So in this exploration, what I found that I like exploring. It's not in the lab or in the world or in the people. I don't like, it's not that I don't like people or I like people. It's actually, I like exploring. So that exploration was my area of interest. Because my mind likes something adventurous, not adventurous like I'm not a person of physical adventure, but adventurous of exploring something new. What's new? That's where my mind draws upon. That's where I find happiness. When I found Advaita, it blew my mind. And I said, my God, such open discussion to talk about this is not real and this is real. And how scientific is that? From the brain perspective, mind perspective, mental health perspective, you literally don't have to do anything. Just focus and defocus and you are there. All troubles are gone. When I read Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it fascinated me. Not because philosophy was interesting alone, but also I could put my connection to the mental health. And I could see he's right. He's only talking vrittis and we are talking disorders. So if that's right, what is he saying in solution? And the solution he says, and I wondered, yeah, that's right. So I found rasa in exploring, connecting, knowledge. And that is more fascinating for me. Each one of us has something like that. Each one of us have a drive which our minds go towards, which will be drawn upon. We have explored it yet or not. And in the physical surface, we may say it's people, it's seva. Actually, none of that is right. Even if it's seva, we enjoy, but it's not actually doing seva is our happiness we find. What is in the seva our mind is going toward? That, just like I said, people person. So my happiness was in lab until I found actually I like human connection, but actually it was neither of that. It has nothing to do with human. It is actually was do everything to with my exploring nature. What is in seva we enjoy? What is in giving we enjoy? It's not giving we enjoy. Because that is a process. We cannot enjoy only process. Mind enjoys its outcome. What is giving a pleasure in giving or doing seva or even meditating? What is that coming out of it? For me, it's adventure, it's exploration. Each one of you, each one of us has something of our unique. And this is where makes us our mind unique, ourselves unique. And each of our paths become unique. So some of us are karma yogis. When I say karma yogi, the karma is our path, constantly doing something. Some of our Raj yogi, mind, we focus, we control, discipline, and that's what we enjoy doing. Bhakti is our marg, or it's anything else we can find. There's always a path in our religion, faith, and regardless of which faith or religion, it has nothing to do with it. Happiness is human nature.
Mm.
Yes. So coming back on my second exercise, going all the way in my conversation, what did you find your mind going and finding happiness in?
Trying to explore that what really you are engaging into and what you like really doing things which will make you happy, continuously talking about all that. And you're trying to seek, where do I really get that happiness? For me personally, I'm a giver. I enjoy others being happy when you have done some sort of a service or seva for them. That's my perception. You're muted, yes. Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't want my background to disturb, but beautiful term, Pragnaji, you said, is seeking. Seeking is what we all enjoy. It's also one of the things we all are seeking knowledge, helping people. Even in helping people, we are seeking. So seeking is a beautiful outcome, what I can say, that this is what we all can find happiness in. Even if you haven't explored yet, let's explore.
Nehaji, I think when you see the smile on the person you do seva, and that gives you a lot of pleasure.
Yes, why does that happen? Why somebody else's happiness can make you feel happy? How is that possible? Technically, I wanted to be happy, but then for my happiness, actually I have to make somebody else happy. How is it fair? And how is it happening? Why
That's
our
be-
mind feel happy into others' happiness?
That's because of your nature. That's how you are.
And why? The question that how the mind can find its happiness in someone else's smile. What
Sharing.
nature is it?
Yeah,
Sharing.
sharing.
Sharing. And
So-
let's throw some ideas.
Salabin?
What I like is the helping people and see them the happy face on their when you help, and that is because I've been doing it all along my life, so that's what I like. Being a nurse, I did all that.
I agree.
Unconditional love. What you give, you don't expect. But when you see the smile, on them, you feel happy within that you've done something good.
Actually, it gives you a sense of achievement or satisfaction. If you've done something for someone, it enhances your own happiness.
Contentment.
Yeah, the achievement, we know the brain secretes a hormone, and that's a happy hormone. So it's very scientific. All of that also relate to the same, because the brain is sending a message, and that is a happy hormone comes in and we feel happy. But there are two words I picked up, and which I would like all of you to bring your attention and see whether you agree. Seeking and the purpose. Finding purpose. So when we make others feel happy, in their happiness, I found my purpose of living. Agree?
Yes.
So I'm not really happy because other person is happy. Of course I am, but why am I happy? What logical sense is it that what I gained? Our mind will always will see an outcome which comes to us, right? So it's like a child, you give everybody something and the child looks at it and say, सबको दिया मुझे नहीं दिया, मुझे प्यार ही नहीं करती है. Child will say that. Mine will always come with bombarding. I hate you. You didn't give me anything. Regardless whether it comes with a harsh word or a soft word, but it still will say, सबको दिया, मेरे लिए क्या था? This is where our mind will always is seeking happiness, seeking knowledge, finding to get something. I'm not saying materialistically, I'm saying something to gain from. That's what it will be drawn upon. Now, it doesn't suit its nature. It always will find something for itself. So when you're giving something to somebody and making him happy, or give out unconditionally, unconditional love also, the affection also, the help also which we give, our mind always gain. What does it gain? Purpose of our own living.
Yeah,
It finds a purpose, and then finally it knows, this is what makes me happy. And I found my purpose in seva. I found my purpose in karma.
yeah.
I found my purpose in blissful living. And finally, I know what can make me feel happy. You found your
I know.
purpose.
Nehaji, I know
Yes.
what to say. Say if you were quite upset and
Yeah.
a child came to you with a big smile and trying to make you happy, that definitely puts a smile on your face when you were crying away. Don't you think so?
See in the child.
Yes.
What do we see in the child?
The child is very happy.
Are we
You know-
seeing the child? Or what do
Well,
we see in the child?
Well, I'm just putting myself with my granddaughter.
No, you're right. No, I'm not questioning. You're very right. Now, I
Yeah, it
just want
makes you
to
happy.
elaborate that. What you just said, I'm just elaborating that, Pannaji.
Yeah.
It is 100% right. But are we
Yeah.
really seeing the child, or we see the innocence? We see the bliss in that innocence, or we don't see the child. We see
No.
that innocent child.
Innocent, yes.
Innocence.
Yes.
We
yes.
see sometimes we say,
Mm.
that pure innocence is the God Himself, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
So
right.
we are not seeing the child, we are seeing the reflection of the God's innocent play. Because He is
Yes.
out of any modification, vrittis, manipulation, it's pure consciousness. And this is where we feel happy just seeing a smile on the child's face, because
Yeah.
that's the God's innocent play we see.
Yeah. You forget all your aches and pains because
Yes.
every
Yes.
time I'm in pain, Kishore will ring Jaina and saying, "Can you come over with the kids, please? Because mom is not feeling well. For the past 2 days, she's been like this, and she'll definitely come, and that will put a smile on my face. I forget my aches and pains."
Always. Always will that happen with everybody, whether it's our own child, our family, or our own flesh and blood or not. Even, if it's anyone's child, it just comes to you and say, don't be sad, I'm right here. Imagine that, just holding a child's hand, say that.
Yes.
Yeah,
You will
it's
feel and forget everything else in the world and say, wow, what a blessing. Yeah.
That's true.
True,
That's
true,
true.
Because we
agree.
are not seeing the
Th- that-
child
that's-
as a form. We are seeing
that's-
the innocence. Yes. Sorry.
that's very true. Not just with the children or the family, but people who are isolated and lonely. Even you just give them a call
Yeah.
to say hello, how are you? It makes your day.
Makes your day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you made our day, Pannaji. You joined.
No,
Yeah, I thought let me try because this is a brand new hotel in Ayodhya. I went to see the Ram Mandir and
wow,
they,
wow.
it's so beautiful. Oh my God. 7 million people turn up every day. It's crowded. But when I went in as VIP, and I tell you, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thoroughly. It took time.
What a blessing.
Oh,
It
yes,
is.
very
I
fortunate.
prayed for everyone. I prayed for
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Dhanyavad.
Take care.
Thank
yeah,
you.
so
What a
like I was
blessing.
Yeah, so like I was saying, this is a brand new hotel. So obviously the equipment is so good here. More than, I mean, technology over here today I saw is well advanced than what we have.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow.
All these new hotels with the mirrors and equipments. Oh my God, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yes, I am enjoying so far.
Good, good.
I'm so glad to hear, and we all are so glad to see you.
But
Do
you have
join
to come
again.
back as well.
Do join again when you can.
Yes,
I
yes.
will. But
Mm.
I must say, India is shit with Wi-Fi, but this hotel is brilliant. I can tune in today. But my
Yeah, I'm
holiday
glad.
has been really good so far. All the retreats I've had, and oh my God, it's a bliss.
You keeping well?
I'm keeping well. I'm keeping well.
That's good.
Thank
That's
you.
nice.
And enjoy yourself.
I will, Ben. I will.
Enjoy.
Good to see you.
Thank you. You too. You're looking
Thank
lovely
you.
as well.
And you have brought smile to everybody's face.
That's right.
Regarding the road accident policy in Gujarat, especially for Gujarat, the road accident policy or
Sorry, I think it was a
Yeah.
mistake. But coming back on our happiness, I would like, there's one thing somebody, again, just I'm reading, makes me want to do seva. Again, not necessarily seva is your path.
Hmm.
We can try different paths, but not necessarily will find our purpose and happiness in seva. So again, exploring without seeking, don't assume that this is where my purpose is, because seeking is the first step. What is that I'm enjoying? So the exercise for each one of us, and I only heard who actually found that into the seva, so I'm thankful. But is there anybody else who not sure about seva but found happiness in something else as well? There's nothing right and wrong here. So again, coming back on finding our happiness, seeking our happiness into the path we are decided or deciding to choose. Purpose of our life we have decided or we are deciding to choose. So where is my happiness? That's my path, wherever it is. So when I was deciding on that, I first assumed that, one path, one destination, focus on the one path. That's what we say. So then when I started this, I thought, okay, I have to decide what practice I'm going to take. And then I'm talking about yoga. So Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, or Raj Yoga. The four major streams, or that's four major personalities, let's say, we can have. So in all that, I thought I am very logical, critics, analytics. So I think Jnana Yoga is my path. So I decided to take the Jnana, because you can ask questions, you can do your mind and logics and Advaita, everything allows you to do all of that. And that's part of Jnana, the knowledge. So when I started doing that, suddenly I felt, actually, I find knowledge while doing things for community, for seva, for volunteering. Even we used to do the voluntary medical camps and then go into the village areas and serve them with all that. And then I thought, well, I really enjoy doing that. So Karma Yoga is my path. And then a stage arrives and I didn't even know which path to take, because I feel equally happy in all of that. So then I found another beautiful term, and Advaita says, Advait, oneness, where discrimination of anything disappears of doing and doer. You are doing and you are doing what? When even that discrimination disappears, you are happy in everything and anything you do. So right now, I am enjoying talking to all of you. What am I doing here? If you have to tell me, what am I doing here? Is it my karma yoga because I'm volunteering and I'm supporting my community and I like helping everybody? So is it that part which I'm doing right now? I am collecting all my knowledge while I'm sharing it, because without having my own knowledge from everywhere, I cannot bring everything together. So is it the knowledge I'm enjoying here? Or is it something of my own discipline that I can sit here, I can concentrate my mind and I can focus and deliver whatever I'm planning to do for this 1 hour? Or it is actually, I see all of you feel blessed and I'm enjoying that blessing. It is hard to say, no? Which one is my enjoyment here? Maybe above all.
Sharing,
So
I would say.
sharing
Sharing
it
your
is nice.
knowledge.
Well,
Knowledge is nice.
I think it is making somebody happiness, others' happiness is your happiness.
Having that
So it's
knowledge,
above all. It's
having
above
that
all.
Jnana
Not
Yoga.
not one thing, but more than 3 already you have picked up, right? And I would say above all, because here I also see the beautiful play of universe, how it's bringing different minds together on Sunday morning, 35 of us, and how we all are so much drawn into this conversation at the same time. So isn't the beautiful connection with the universe bringing it to us? So that also could be an enjoyment. So when the discrimination between doer and doing disappears, when there is nothing which defines you, this identification, you go beyond mind, body, intellect is the happiness. If I put it that way now, again, shifting and expanding our happiness from seva, happiness from family. What does the happiness in the family means? We all do find happiness in our family. I do find my happiness in my children. When they are laughing, I am top of my world. Even though I go on the roller coaster with them, but still it's my pure blessing. It's true joy seeing them growing up. All mothers, all parents, even if your parents, grown-up children also, regardless what stage in the life you are, family is the happiness. What is happiness here?
Reaching to that bliss.
Purpose. You served your purpose.
Listen
My
to
purpose was to
Say-
extend the family, give my best to my family, or also make them a good citizen, a good person. I have done my purpose. So growing up and seeing my grown-up children is a blessing. That means I served my purpose. So I'm happy, really I'm not seeing a person and I'm not actually identifying a person in my happiness. I extendedly in the background, what is making me happy? I served my purpose beautifully. If God forbid, one purpose is done beautifully and other is not done so beautifully, turn out to be not so beautiful, then will we still be so happy? No. We'll still have little regret. Where did I miss this? How could I miss this? There will still be a gap in the happiness. So it's not the person we are looking at as our happiness. It's what we delivered, what we gained, what we served, what we have done in that makes us happy. A failure relationship, let's say, will not make us feel happy, does it? Not so positive relationship, I'm not saying negative, but not so positive relations don't make us feel happy in the family. We feel sad around them. We feel sorry or sad or sometimes angry also. So the happiness is not actually in the family or relationship. What this give and takes makes us feel and makes us feel it's not about individual at all. You might not even know what you're feeling about him or her. It is again what mind see into it. I see I haven't done a good job here. So I'm not happy about my own purpose served. Or I have done a beautiful job here and I'm very proud of that achievement. So I'm happy about that, my achievement. So my one child growing up, and he is well behaved, well mannered, and then his schools every time call me and say, I wish all the children in the class like your son. And I feel, wow, I'm so happy to hear. My growing up, my
Wonderful.
being a mother, what I did was a good job. Achievement made me feel happy. My purpose served make me feel happy. The other one is my wonderful, blissful child, but I don't get compliments from his school, but more of the complaints from his school. But then again, not a bad boy because he's still my child. Feel happy, but I don't feel happy going to his school because then there is a report card with the red marks to say, not so good, not here. He talked like that. He shouted. I was angry. He bounced back. Anger management, what you need to focus on. But then he's not angry at home. He's very happy child at home. He gives me hugs. He asks me 3 times at least, am I happy? So how is that making me feel in both situations? So it has nothing to do with my children, actually. It is what it makes me feel, achieved or not achieved. Gained, purpose gained or not.
Achieved and not achieved.
Yeah. So at the end, it is not people. It is not the world. It is not what we do. We find happiness. It is what we are gaining out of it is what making me feel happy. It's everything is all about me because the mind sees that only to hold on. I am seeing everything, but mind doesn't see everything. Mind only sees what I found into it. I found happiness into it. And seeking, finding my purpose, and then a stage where all this disappears and I remains one in all in one is the happiness at the end. Coming back to the question, sorry, another mistake. Coming back to the question, when I talk so much, where all the mind was drawn upon, mostly in last half an hour, I think I did this practice for half an hour at least. So in last half an hour, if I ask you, you were focusing on your mind and you were focusing with my engagement. So where did the mind were mostly drawn upon? Did it wander anywhere else?
Started wondering really exactly where am I happy with what?
Yes. Good. Yes, Salaji.
Thinking your life, past life, what you have done with the children, with the family and all, that makes me think.
Yes. Yes. And anyone else?
I'm so thirsty of your knowledge that I'm experiencing that right now.
I take that as a compliment, Raji.
Absolutely. And I just want to mention that, when what we express through ourselves is exhibition of our peacefulness or happiness as well.
Exactly.
And like it or not, we get becomes very magnetic to other people as well. And so it's for us to be preparing ourselves and prepare our passion and positivity within ourselves where we go, so that can enhance whatever is there and to enjoy it from your nature as well.
Mm.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes. So
That's very true. Yeah, what he said. And I was looking at like this as if you are looking like, say, Marama Jewa Atma છે તેવો તમારામાં આત્મા છે, so we are all one happiness.
Nehaji, in my case,
yes.
I found happiness through lack of unwanted, undesirable thoughts. I have less thoughts than a normal person has. So I'm always calm and peaceful within. It's managing your thoughts with intelligence as well. You have to use Vivek.
Yes, yes.
That's true.
That's a beautiful saying. Thank you, Nitinji. Yes, the lesser the thoughts are, the more happy we are, because then we have less distractions. We don't have anything to be going on spiral anymore. So when we are not on spiral, we are already on peace, and peace is happiness. So at the end, yes, lesser thought of spiral thought. So vrittis, less of the vrittis, less of the. Thank you for sharing that. So my background is getting noisier, but at the same time, I'm conscious of time as well. It's a Sunday for everybody. So today's meditation, again, we did 2 practices, and I'm now going to do with closed eyes because I don't want to interrupt the flow of where you are right now. With closed eyes, we go into the world within, losing this touch from the conscious world. So 2 practices to remember and continue is continue to engage in your mundane life, still engaging yourself with your happiness, and then constantly focusing on your happiness while you're doing anything and everything. So that's our meditation today for open eyes, world outside, and constantly doing in the world, we meditate. That's the process we will continue practicing. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, it does.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Anybody may have any question, you know where to find me. We have a wonderful chat group, all of a supportive community. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed and continue enjoying rest of your day, rest of your week. And I'll see you kickstart tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dhanyavad.